We got a lot of stuff to cover here today, so we're going to get things started off with this. You know, one of the MCU shows on Disney Plus that I was not a big fan of was Hawkeye. I mean, I love the character. I love the character. And Haley Steinfeld is Anne's absolute favorite person in the world right now. I think maybe just under Tom Hanks. And the show had its upsides. I kind of low-key secretly love the Tracksuit Mafia. And it had some things going for it, but overall I was a little bit underwhelmed. But I love Hawkeye. And so it was interesting to see that new reports have come out claiming, and you should follow this one under the rumor mill, but claiming that they are looking and developing a season 2 for Hawkeye. And they're giving away some details about what it could be about. This comes to us from Comic Book Movie Rights. As for Kate Bishop, a Daredevil born-again storyline could set the stage for Hawkeye season 2. Which would seem weird because they're very different tones, but it will be set during Christmas again, but this time in one location as Clint Barton and Kate find themselves fending off hordes of assassins. Trickshot will be the main villain, and there will be a clear Die Hard inspiration. All right. Now again, file this one under the rumor mill. These are unconfirmed, but that's kind of what the word is that's going around. So let's talk about it for a second, understanding this could be totally bogus and totally false. Let's say it's true for a second. Number one, I didn't like Hawkeye all that much. Do I even want them to do a season 2? As a matter of fact, yes, because I believe it could be done better. There was enough good stuff there that I think if you just improved, it could be a pretty decent show. Interesting thing number 2. Setting it at Christmas time again does give it kind of a Die Hard feel. Now they're saying it's going to be set in one place as they're fighting off hordes of assassins. That does have a little bit of a Die Hard feel. You know what has a more of a feel though, Rob? The Rad. The Raid.
I love that you called it the Rad.
That was in honor of you.
I kind of got Judge Dredd feelings like, you ready, rookie? You look ready.
Yeah, a little bit of the Carl Urban Judge Dredd, right?
So
which
good.
in and of itself was kind of inspired by the Raid and what have you. So the whole idea of an entire season of them, each episode is them getting to the next level or something like that, and they're having to fight through and there's a different boss at different levels. All right, color me as at least a little bit intrigued. Now, look, if I'm a Disney executive, do I greenlight a Hawkeye season 2? No. You got too much other stuff going on. You got this sloth of new characters coming in with Fantastic Four and X-Men and the 50 auxiliary characters that come along with them too. But if they're going to do it, I'll check it out. And if they do it like this, which we don't know if they will, but if they do, it's got me intrigued. Rob, you hear this description. Number one, do you think we would get a Hawkeye season 2? And if they did, theoretically speaking, what do you think about the sounds of this description?
There's always a possibility that they're going to give us a second season of Hawkeye, and if only to celebrate Jeremy Renner's coming back from almost being crushed to death by a snowplow. I mean, why not give him? I think everybody likes Jeremy Renner.
Oh, who doesn't love Jeremy Renner?
And
He's
Mayor
awesome.
of Kingstown. I mean, he's killing it on that show. So I would love to see Hawkeye. Give me more Hawkeye. When Endgame opened with Hawkeye's family getting dusted, my jaw was on the floor when Mr. Fantasy starts playing over the Marvel logo. I was like, oh my God, what a great way, because you immediately care about him. And I think that there's something about him that is irresistible. However, this idea does not appeal to me because, okay, there's a big part of Hawkeye's life, what he was doing in the 5 years after the snapping, after Thanos snapped everybody away, and he descended into, the scourge of the
bloodlust, murderous spree.
Yeah, because his family was dusted. It would be interesting to see something that he did during that time come back to haunt him. Something more interesting. I mean, fending off assassins.
Didn't they kind of do that with Echo a little bit?
I guess, kind of, but not very well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was decimating the international underworld. You could make this in more of an international thing, but maybe that's why assassins are coming after him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's retribution. So you could tie it in. I'm just thinking I would love to see because we saw him get better, but we never saw him really deal with those. Well, I mean, he was carving a swath through the international crime underworld. He
was leaving bodies across the map.
Yeah, I mean, and it was bad. But so if
But it was
if they could
good.
make those two things work together, I think it could be great. But it's like him and Kate Bishop. There's got to be more of a story than just that. But it's intriguing as a beginning and a possibility. So yes, I'm intrigued.
Chris, you're hearing this. First of all, what did you think about the original Hawkeye series? Do you like the idea of maybe coming back? Do you think they will? And if so, is this description appealing to you, not appealing to you? What do you think?
I mean, I'm a sucker for anything Christmas, so I enjoyed
Oh,
the
that's
first
true.
one. I love the description. And fun fact, for the last 2 Decembers, I have stayed at the Hawkeye Hotel in New York. We've gone to the Lot Palace because
nice.
that's where they filmed.
Wow.
Yeah. Mom's cool as hell, y'all. She's like, this seems nerdy and up your alley. Let's do that.
Wow.
I think this is a fun idea. What I'm more interested in learning is if we do have Trick Shot as our villain, which Trick Shot?
Yeah.
I want to know if we're going Buck, and be brave enough to give me a tubby Trick Shot, you cowards. Give me that big old belly on there. Or are we going Barney? Are we having Clint's brother in the mix, and we're having more of a familial drama there, which is way more interesting.
Way more interesting.
So I'm hoping they go that route. And I do think there's some validity here too, just because back in January, I think it was, I know Comic Book Movie was posting about rumors from Daniel, I can't remember that scooper's last
Richmond.
name. Thank you. Saying that this was the course, specifically stating that they were going to do season 2 based on the raid, kind of, in a way, using that as one of their source materials with Barney as Trick Shot. So I feel like this is one of those, there's smoke, there's probably fire, and I would enjoy seeing a season 2. I feel like you can only build and get better. We got introduced to Kate through this show. I'd like to see more of her.
She's great.
She's wonderful in this. My only hang up is his wife, Clint's wife. One, I want to know more about her, because obviously she's got
They gave her a
some-
much richer backstory
Yeah.
in season
And
1.
she's so great.
I want to know a lot more about her. And Linda Cardellini, yeah, is incredible. But also, at this point, after that last Christmas, why is his family not with him once again?
Yeah.
Which was another one of the issues we had in Die Hard, but we knew that he was estranged with everyone, right? Why is Clint not with his family? Is this a 24-hour situation? Are we going to have flashbacks, or are we going to have like little moments where we cut to the family, or we're doing something else? That's the only part narratively that I'm wondering, why would he not be with them a second time?
Well, that's the ticking clock. You got to get to them before Christmas Eve's over.
Sure, yeah.
And listen,
Christmas
you
Day.
know, my household is a huge Haley Steinfeld household.
Yes.
Right? Like my wife loves her. Like, too much. I mean, one of the highlights of her day was when Haley Steinfeld, highlights of her year, Haley Steinfeld quoted a message from Anne in her newsletter, and Anne is just like running around like she's freaked out. So we love her, and I've always liked her. I've always liked her. But Hawkeye should be about Hawkeye. Right. And that's one of the things that kind of, like, I don't mind introducing Haley Steinfeld, but it really should have focused more on Jeremy Renner, in my opinion. Now, obviously, they've got plans for Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop moving forward. They clearly have plans. So one of the things I would ask is, if you're going to do it, obviously it's now a team up movie, but just give us a little bit more emphasis on actual Hawkeye. That would be kind of nice. Anyway, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Kikoff. Man, time flies, doesn't it? One minute you're reminiscing about your last vacation, and the next you're thinking about major life goals like buying a car, getting that dream home. But if your credit isn't where it needs to be, those goals can feel out of reach. And that's where Kikoff comes in, the #1 credit building app in the App Store that makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free to build credit fast. And that's exactly why I love Kikoff. They give you a credit line for just building credit, not for spending. Your on-time payments get reported to the 3 major credit bureaus, helping you improve your credit mix and payment history, 2 of the biggest factors in credit growth. If your credit is under 600, you could see a jump of about 28 points in your first month. No credit check, no hidden fees, no interest, just smart credit building. Building credit can happen faster than you expect with Kikoff. Don't wait. Get your first month for just $1 at getkikoff.com/Campea. That's kickoff without the C. Get 80% off at getkikoff.com/Campea. Must sign up via getkickoff.com/Campea to activate offer. Offer applies to new customers first month only, subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply. Point stat based on Equifax Vantage Score 3.0 changes for Kickoff users starting under 600 who made their first on-time payment between January of 2021 and March of 2024. Payment and credit activity outside Kickoff can have an impact on your credit. Individual results may vary. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? They're saying they could be doing a Hawkeye season 2. Take that with a giant grain of salt. And there's some whispers going around about what it could be about. Are you interested by the description? I have to admit, I kind of am. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.